Hi everyone, this is Akshay here. We are back with another podcast in the year 2021. First of all, Happy New Year to all, and every viewer who is out there, Happy New Year to you. And today we are here as a team to speak about whether Earth actually needs a lamination or not. And we are talking about reuse and refuse of plastic. So, in the past few months that we have been working on waste management and we have been talking about how waste segregation can be done, we've been coming across one certain issue that people have always been saying that there is plastic and it's unavoidable. So what can we do? What's an alternative to it? So today we are here to talk about all these things, starting from what exactly plastic is, how harmful it can be, and what can be the alternatives to it. So we'll be talking about these. And for that, we have a very lovely friend and a very beautiful volunteer of our Ankuram team, Apoorva. Hi, Apoorva.
Hi, hi.
So she has been, within the team of ABCD, which is working for clearing the plastic. They're taking initiatives in clearing the environment and the surroundings in Mangalore by coming up with new age solutions. So before that, we definitely felt a need to address people about what are the issues that we are facing when we say that we require plastic or we don't require plastic. So what are the issues that we are facing? So we need to talk about the practicality of it rather than just take it on an emotional state and start saying no plastic, we can ban plastic. So we need to come up with alternatives to it. So that's something that we have to scientifically get through as a society, as an individual, and as a citizen of India and the world. So I would like to also just tell everyone that very recently that there has been a update. There has been an update that it's a research paper that has come out saying that there are microplastics that are seen inside the placenta of the fetus. Inside the womb, the placenta, which is a connection between the mother and the child. In the placenta, there is microplastic. So, how harmful is that? Even immunoglobulins cannot pass through this placenta, and plastic is able to pass through it. So, it's actually gone to an extent where even the unborn child is being affected of this huge enemy that we have today, which is plastic. So more on that, I would really like Apoorva to address us all about it. Uh, yes, Apoorva. First of all, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for being such an enthusiastic volunteer and doing so much for the society in Ankuram with Ankuram. Thank you for giving me the
Sure.
opportunity for being here and asking you all these things. She's been researching a lot about these topics, which is why she becomes our prime candidate to address the public of these opinions. So. Yeah, Apurva, could you please tell me about something a little more about the plastic being seen in the placenta?
Yeah, like not an expert in this field, but I've referred a few and gone through this stuff, so I know a few things about it. I would like to share. Like as a common man, I know this. I know a few details about this thing.
Mhm.
So this microplastics is nothing but the really tiniest what particles of plastic. So
Mhm.
as the name suggests, like microplastic.
Yeah.
So microplastics can be there are of two categories mainly. Either there are primary, so primary microplastics or secondary. So primary means these are actually below the size of 5 mm. So microplastic, if you have to call a particle microplastic, it has to be below the size of 5 micrometers.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the yeah, so those are primary microplastics, which are actually in the beginning stage
Mhm.
only. They are below 5 micrometers. That means they are like byproducts of maybe textile industry or your cosmetics or your
Okay.
detergents and other materials are manufactured. And at that time, you get these microplastics. Okay, as
Yeah,
a you
we'll
can say
come back
as a
to that.
byproduct.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Viewers, I would just like to add in a point there, which is microplastic is, I can say, to the extent where what micro really is 100 times smaller than what 1 millimeter is, which means you are
Yeah.
dividing millimeter into 100 times, and then you get that small particle which is entering your system and causing ill effect. So we're actually talking about that small particle which has started causing trouble within the human system itself. So yeah, Apoorva, you were saying about it. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it almost appears like, a very fine coarse substance, like almost like glitter,
Oh,
or
okay,
similar to that. It
okay,
appears something like that.
okay,
Yeah. So secondary microplastics, I just told you about primary. So secondary microplastics, these are nothing but when a bigger like for example a plastic bottle or a plastic bag, these are degraded
Mhm.
and they get converted into microplastics. So just because a plastic bag which is in the soil, it seems to be breaking down, doesn't mean it's biodegradable. It
Okay,
turns out what it is broken down into this finest microplastic material and it stays in the environment just like that. So it's
okay,
not degraded further. So this microplastic, it is there in our soil, it is there in our water, it is there in the air we breathe. So it's pretty much everywhere.
okay.
So
Oh,
imagine throwing a handful of glitter in the air, where and all it'll go and settle. The microplastics are similar to that. It'll be everywhere. It'll be in the
okay,
soil, even in the water, so everywhere. So this microplastics that were found in the placenta, no, those the size of it, I said microplastics size is 5 millimeters, right? Five
yeah,
micrometers.
yeah, okay. Five
So
micrometers. Okay.
yeah, the ones that were found in the placenta, they were 0.01 micrometers around that.
Oh
So that
my
means
God.
it is very minute. So they believe that it could have been transported into the what blood of the fetus as well, and it'll probably inhibit the growth of the fetus. So the actual harmful effect of microplastics in humans are not known yet completely,
Okay.
but they're believed to have they believe to affect our endocrine system, and they'll affect us neurologically, even our reproductive system as well. So the
Oh,
exact effects are not known yet, but research is going on.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
So it's
so
it's
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 like,
not just about we throwing plastic and physically being able to remove it, but also it has become such
yeah,
an integral part of our human system right now. To be honest, it's
yeah,
started causing effects within our system even without our knowledge, even though we don't
yeah.
need.
So those microplastics, they're so minute that they can even harm some of the zooplanktons. Like they can enter the zooplanktons also, which are basically microorganisms.
Oh,
So they can enter them as well. So they are that
wait,
minute and that harmful.
you're actually saying that microplastics are able to harm microorganisms.
Yeah, the zooplanktons are there, right? So they can enter them also.
Okay, so that actually means that we are not just we have not just created something that's bothering the larger forms, but also even a single celled organisms also is being uh,
Yeah,
served by
yeah.
product we have found out. Now I just want is there any other ways in which plastic has infiltrated our daily lives?
Yeah, obviously. Like, see, these plastic bags and any plastic products that we're disposing of, like basically throwing off, you're not disposing it in a proper way. So it
Okay,
ends up in what? Water bodies, right?
okay, okay,
So what happens, the marine organisms, they are affected by it. For example, a fish
yeah,
consumes maybe a bigger piece of plastic or microplastics or whatever it is. So it'll remain in its digestive tract or any
okay.
other organs of this particular organism. And what
Mhm.
happens? We consume it. If it's a bigger piece of plastic, it's
Okay,
avoidable
yeah,
somehow. But
yeah, yeah.
since even microplastics are entering these organisms, we, without our knowledge, we are consuming it. Not
Oh,
only food, even water. So microplastics can even contaminate water bodies also. So we consume water and we have microplastics in us. That means we have something in us that will stay in us forever,
oh.
because plastic is non-biodegradable, so it remains there.
So it's more or less like
It's
karma
like
that's coming
we,
back to us here.
yeah, it's like we throw plastic or dispose it into soil or water or somewhere, and again it like breaks down and again comes back to us.
So it's just
So it's,
simple karma that's happening. So
Yeah, it's there all around us and we can't do anything about
We
it
can't do
now,
anything.
since we've created something, we've put it into an environment, and it stays there, and it comes back to us also to
Okay. Now
harm
you
us.
said you actually said about how fishes are coming up with these, who are absorbing,
Yeah,
they're eating plastic. But like you said, like you mentioned, if it's a bigger piece of plastic, we can remove it. But is there
yeah,
any
yeah.
other, like, is there a specific group of fishes or, that, a
Yeah,
variety of.
I think mollusks, okay, this oysters and scallops, since they are like filter feeders,
Uh,
they are the ones who are, more polluted by plastics.
okay.
So the
Could you
more
could you
concentration
could
of
you please
plastic has
tell
been found in
could
them.
you please tell the audience what exactly do you mean by the filter feeding as such?
Filter feeding in the sense they are at the bottom of the water body.
Okay.
Okay, the scallops and oysters. You might have seen these are shelled,
Okay.
mollusks.
Okay. Mollusk.
Bivalves.
Marwai. Yeah, we're talking about Marwai and
Yeah, marwai.
Pachil.
I don't
We're
know what
talking about
oysters are called. Yeah, pachile or something like that.
Pachil. Yeah, correct,
Yeah,
correct.
the green. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Pachil, Pachil.
basically, what happens is they're filter feeders. They're at the bottom of the water bodies, and
Okay.
whatever small organism that just floats by them, they consume
Uh-huh.
that.
So
So
they just
even
keep their
these
mouth
smaller
open.
part,
Okay, okay. So
yeah.
that
So
means
even the smaller particles,
microplastics
yeah,
are also getting in them.
yeah, they consume it and it'll be there.
Oh,
So we eat these scallops and the microplastics or whatever plastic material that is in the oysters or scallops or whatever we are consuming, it is in us anymore. So
okay.
that's how it harms us. It can clog our intestine, and there are chemicals what leaching from plastics, right? So
Yeah.
those chemicals can also harm us.
Now,
And
is chemical
exactly,
leaching, like, is it just that, like, I've heard that, single-use plastics are the ones which are really harmful and that leach chemicals, but do other plastics also leach these microplastics or microchemicals into the environment?
yeah, there are actually, I think there are recycling codes. If you see in your water bottles or other, even Tupperware, I guess,
Yeah,
bottles,
yeah.
plastic bottles that you buy, bottles or any boxes also, they'll
Mhm.
have a code. I think I can show it to you here.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can see here, you can see the
Okay.
numberings, right? 1, 2, 3. So
Yeah.
these are nothing but plastic recycling code.
Okay.
So
Okay.
according to this code, the plastics that I will explain that to you later. So according to
Okay.
this code, plastics are separated and then they are recycled. So
Okay.
you can see in number 1, so that is polyethylene terephthalate. In that it's written, it's okay. I think you can see it somewhere. Yeah, see number 2, it's written transfers no known chemicals into food. That means it's not known to leach much
It's not
chemicals. That
known to
is,
leach
which
much chemicals.
is
Okay.
the
Okay.
2. Yeah, that is high density polyethylene.
Okay.
But there are again, see number 3. If you see, that is your PVC, polyvinyl
Huh,
chlorine,
huh, huh.
uh, polyvinyl chloride,
Yeah.
and others. See number 4 also. You can see transmit no known. So there are certain codes where it is said to be what it is said to leach certain amount of chemicals. So while manufacturing plastic, they use a lot of chemicals, or
Okay.
your
So,
byproducts are there, right? Petroleum byproducts, from that it's made, right? Plastic is made
yeah,
from
yeah.
petroleum byproducts also. So at that time, whatever chemicals are there, they are said, you might have heard people saying you can't use those what plastic water bottles for a longer time. You can't use
Yeah,
it, you
yeah.
shouldn't use it for a longer time.
Yeah, we
Said,
shouldn't keep it
it is
on the
believed that
sun. We shouldn't keep it at a hard
yeah, yeah,
and things like that. Yeah, yeah. So,
yeah, but it is said that if you use it for a longer time, they'll start leaching out certain amount of chemicals into whatever you're storing in that bottle.
oh, so
So
so you
that's,
can't even store anything. So I'll have to talk to my mother and take off all the plastic she's been keeping the food particles in it. So I'll have to change that, right? So
yeah,
yeah.
so it depends on these codes and what material they are made up of.
Okay, okay. Now that when we are talking about plastics, we talk about how harmful it is. Now, is it why would a man create something so harmful? Even though, I mean, we've created something so I can say that it's going to kill us in one or the other way. And we have created something like that. Why would man create such kind of things? It's still confusing. Why would they create something like this?
No, but when they created plastic, they didn't think of this. I mean, they didn't think it would come to this. It was actually created to, as far whatever I have read,
Mm-hmm.
it's about it was invented or it was created to save environment
Oh, wow.
because
What? Okay.
yeah, because first initially I think it was celluloids, and then came the synthetic the bakelite, and then it went on evolving like polymers,
Okay.
and then different forms of synthetic polymers. That's what you say, polyethylene, all
Ah,
those versions came up later.
yeah,
So
yeah.
initially, when they started using celluloid, or when they came up with bakelite and all,
Mhm.
what was the aim was to save environment, in the sense to make furnitures or to make all these products that you see around us.
Mm.
They would have had used wood,
Okay.
or maybe ivory, or some form of metal.
Hmm.
Or where does ivory come from? Either you have to kill an elephant, or from the shells of a tortoise, or all these places, right? So these
Yeah.
the materials that we needed for our use, it was made
Mhm.
from some organic compound or some
Okay.
organic material, maybe harming trees or harming animals.
Ah.
So to put an end to this, they started creating things from plastic. So now
Okay.
everything you see around us, and one more thing is plastic. It's the word plastic means it's elastic. It means it's easily shapeable, right? You can shape it
Yeah.
easily. So the word plastic means that basically, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
it is cheaper. It is easy to manufacture. It is cheap, and you can shape it into any shape you want. So that is why
Yeah.
plastic was, people started using plastic. But what
Okay.
happens
So it
is
was
we
basically,
as human,
yeah. So it was basically invented as a.
it's a good thing.
It
It
was a
was
good thing.
Now we look at plastic as evil, but initially it wasn't evil. It was a good thing. It
Okay.
saved animals. I mean,
Okay. It
they
actually.
replaced ivory, plastic
Well,
with
It,
ivories,
it, it
every
was a
items.
solution 100 years back, which has become a problem now.
Yeah, yeah, but it's because we humans, we have a thing of overusing anything.
Yeah.
So we've
Yeah.
overused
So
plastic for all these years,
yeah.
and for what, almost 100 years later, it like a good thing was created, and almost 100 years later, the good has been converted into evil by us, and now we are trying to find another alternative.
So it's a
Who
fallen
knows,
angel.
maybe that, yeah, who knows that the whatever alternative item we get now, material
Yeah.
we get now, it
Yeah.
and again another 100 years that will be evil, I guess. We're not
Yeah.
sure.
So we literally have a 100-year cycle where good is becoming evil. So we'll have to think beyond 100 years and think of sustainability probably. So
Yeah,
could you also tell tell us a few things, like what are the common contributors to the actual problematic plastics that we have today? Let's keep, let's say that, like how you said, primary and secondary, let's say that there is a problematic section of plastic, and there is a section of plastic that can be recycled and reused. So let's keep that separate. But about this problematic part of the group of plastics, can you tell what are the sources that we have as of now? Yeah.
yeah. So other than microplastic, I mean, I wouldn't talk much about microplastic when you say what cause for plastic pollution, because microplastic is something we can't see and we are not aware of it,
Yeah.
right? Like until recently, even I didn't think much about microplastic. Like that was such a big thing.
Yeah.
What we can see is the regular plastics that we use. Those are called as single-use plastic, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
You might have known what a single-use plastic, like the name, it is single use.
Yeah.
So we use it once and we dispose it off too soon. We don't reuse it usually.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the one main single-use plastic that we use is the plastic carry bags, the
Yeah.
theli what we use.
Yeah. I mean, we have
You
been
go to
speaking
grocery
about this
shop.
thalis for a long time.
Yeah,
So, yeah. Yeah.
we store it in our kitchen. We wrap our different boxes with that. So we
Yeah.
use it almost every time. I mean, it's a single-use plastic. Still, we store it and use it to quite an extent.
Okay. Wait, I can actually
So
see
this,
balloons there. Balloons are plastic?
Uh, I I think they do have some amount of plastic. They're like mixture.
Oh,
There
given
are
that
certain plastic elements also. Yeah.
disposable
So
gloves also come in that.
yeah, like it's not that plastic means just the plastic material. It's been mixed with other materials to give that elasticity and properties to it.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
probably,
So
and
plastics.
recently we've a few of my friends have been going for COVID tests, and they were actually noticing few things there, and they were saying that everything like starting from that whole kit is made of plastic. So you have plastic Q-tips, you have plastic boxes, you have plastic syringes. So everything that is made up of is plastic. So basically, we have come to a point where we are not able to avoid these plastics anymore, and they are all single use.
True.
Yeah.
True. We can't avoid plastic completely. We have to minimize the usage of plastic,
Yeah,
minimize. We
yeah,
can't avoid it completely.
yeah,
And the one main thing is recycle. So the what our facility of recycling needs to be improved, or else it's difficult. I
yeah,
mean, you enter your bathroom and pretty much 60 to 70% of whatever you see is made out of plastic. Your toothbrush, the holder of the toothbrush, everything is
yeah.
plastic, and you
Everything is
can't
plastic.
avoid it. You can't have everything of metal or glass. It's not possible.
True, true, true. So
So
probably
you
we'll
can
have to
see, yeah,
we'll have to think of this very practically, of how to go about this, because now that it's become such, it's as good as saying that it's become a very integral part of our of human beings, to be honest. Now that it has come into the fetus also, so it's a very integral part. So I think we require even more better solutions to this. We can't just simply say that we have to ban these plastics, because I can't actually think of how it can come up with a solution if we ban these plastics, because there are so many people who are dependent on these single use plastics, and so many things, like when
yeah,
it comes to this, like how you have these sachets, uh, you know and the thing is, we are still a poor country. We have to accept that fact. And even today, we go to a shop and then we take 1 rupee brew instead of taking a bottle of brew. So,
true.
these are things that we are absolutely dependent on. And after use, we throw them. So, how is it that we can come out of this? Which seems like a very impossible task. How are we going to go about this?
Yeah, that's what one main thing is. We can replace these daily use items that we can actually avoid.
Okay.
See, for example, instead of using a plastic carry bag, you can use a cloth carry bag. It's actually economical. If you imagine you're storing a plastic carry bag at your home, major more what like twice or thrice you can use it, right?
Mhm.
Then you'll obviously pack garbage in it and ship it off or something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
this cloth bag, you can wash it and reuse it.
yeah.
So that's one thing. And reduce the usage of straw. Most of the time we don't really need straw, but
Hmm.
since the
But
the
then,
restaurant is giving us, or since the
uh,
tender coconut
laws,
vendor is giving it to us, so we
the
accept it.
kiss the
So
Bonda challenge. So,
yeah. So
yeah,
actually, this is a very small for a person, for an individual. It seems
okay,
like a very small change.
yeah.
Replace your water bottles with some stainless steel water bottles, or
Mhm.
your tiffin box, whatever plastic box you have, you replace it with a
Yeah,
stainless steel
yeah.
one. So it is what you can use it for a longer time as well.
Mm. So it's an
So
unavoidable thing that we have to learn to recycle, and we have to
yeah,
start learning to take initiatives where we have to avoid the single-use plastics. Now I understand that, but even today, if I go to a normal hotel, like as a
yeah,
middle class person, if I go to a hotel, a middle class hotel, they will put even a curry, a very hot curry, into a plastic theli and give it to us. They will not think of
yeah,
anything else. They're going to put it into that and come. First of all, you're talking about microplastics, which gets activated when there is heat, which means we are consuming
yeah.
microplastics as and when we are consuming whatever curry we have bought in it.
True,
So
true.
if you actually think, for a small scale vendor, a plastic is a boon. But if you think as the community of human beings, we are causing even bigger harms. But how to, like, can we think of, any, is there any alternative that we can come up with for such kind of, economical practices as such?
Yeah, but like I actually had asked one of the local shops that what it costs for them for a single plastic carry bag and
Okay.
what it costs for a paper bag. So he was like, he didn't give me a clear what price range, but he's
Mm.
like, it's almost similar to get
Okay.
a paper bag and to get a what plastic carry bag.
Okay.
But what happens is it's a little. I mean, plastic bags is easily available for them. They can get any distributors. But for paper
Okay.
bag, it's a little difficult. And what happens is all items you cannot pack in a paper bag. For example, if you go to milk booth, the milk packet, which is also plastic,
Yeah.
you can't put it in a paper bag
Okay.
because by the time that person reaches home, the paper bag will obviously it'll get wet and it'll break off, right?
Yeah.
So instead, what we have to do is we as what as what a purchaser, so you have
Mhm.
to go to a shop with a carry bag, preferably a cloth one,
Mhm.
and you have to get it in that way so that you don't have to ask him for a plastic bag and he doesn't feel he has to give it. He can't say no to you, right?
Yeah.
Most of the people, we get offended like, okay, I thought I got puje, so we won't go to him the next time,
We go to another person to buy us.
right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, who will give us a carry bag?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
these are certain things that a single person can't do it,
yeah.
right?
We'll have to
So
collectively take this decision. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
So, probably, like how we had discussed before, I think somewhere in the like, to avoid single use plastic, we know it's going to be very difficult. To avoid plastics from our life is going to be hell difficult. So, I would like to tell the viewers also that it requires practical solutions. That, we at Ankuram has been, trying to understand how we can come out of this, what seems to be like a chakravyuha, where, we are stuck within plastic. So we don't know how to come out of this, and that requires practical solutions. Like, a very forward country can probably say that we are going to replace everything and do, you know marvelous.
Bioplastics maybe.
Yeah, yeah, like a country like Netherlands or a country like Iceland, where very small population is there, they can bring changes very quickly. But a place where already there are, you know there are about to uh, there are so many people, the population is already over the limit for us, the economy is already falling, so we have a lot of things coming up, but still we need to find a solution for this now. Because, once I heard about the news that, um, within the placenta you have plastic, that's still running in my head, because it's so dangerous to even talk about plastics in our food, and all of a sudden we are saying that it's there in our unborn child, so that's
It's in the
already.
future it'll be a part of us.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, the biologists who know, will actually have to talk about, how mitochondria became a part of us. Then plastic also would become a part of us, probably. Yes. So, as a team, Ankuram has decided to come up with a challenge, which is for the public. Okay, and it's a challenge which we are going to test with different kinds of people from different societies, from different economical backgrounds, and urge them to involve in this challenge. So, I would like Apoorva to introduce you all to the challenge and what we are planning to do for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we came up with a New Year's resolution.
Mhm.
So we'll be stepping into 2021 with the resolution, a challenge
Mhm.
that is called as the reuse or refuse challenge.
Okay.
So what we're doing is for around 15 days,
Yeah.
we have kept this very small period of time because we know how difficult it is to suddenly change your life into
Yes.
plastic free.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can't say plastic free because 100% you can't what reject plastic 100%. You will have to use like your furnitures, plastic chairs, all that you can certainly throw it out of your house and sit on your floor. You
Yeah,
can't do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So the basic single-use plastic that we use day by day, as I said earlier, plastic bags,
Mhm.
maybe straws, your plastic bottles,
Yeah,
the what ice trays in your fridge, you could replace it with something silicone, or instead of using Tupperwares, you can use silicone Ziploc bags, something like that.
yeah, yeah. So,
So
yeah, yeah, please go on, please go on.
yeah, so for this 15 days, whoever is taking up this challenge, for now, me and other volunteers of Ankuram, we are taking up this
Me too.
challenge. So
I'm
for
also there.
15 days, yeah. So for the 15 days period, what we have to do is simply give up this single-use plastic. That is what our government's aim is also right now. So
Yeah,
by 2022, they want India to phase out single-use plastic
single-use
completely,
plastics. Okay,
because
okay.
other plastics, it's a little hard. Single-use plastics are our main objective right now.
Yeah,
So for this 15 days, you have to try to not use single-use plastics. Instead of
mm,
carrying a plastic bag, you have a cloth bag in
yeah,
your backpack or something, so that whenever you're going to a shop, you can use that instead. You can say, no, I don't need your plastic. I have my own carry bag, or
okay.
simple things
So
like that.
that
So
means we'll have to avoid buying sachets. We'll have to avoid buying.
yeah, we'll
Okay.
we'll have to try to buy in bulk. See, when I say bulk, I don't buy sachet shampoos. I buy it in bottles. Even the bottle is made
Okay.
out of plastic. But when
Okay.
you compare a big bottle to so many, like tens of sachets,
Sachets.
the
Yeah.
amount of plastic, the amount of plastic, it's relatively less, right? One
Yeah.
bottle, and when you compare it, you can compare one
Yes.
bottle to many hundreds of plastics, right?
Very true.
Sachets.
Very true.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so at least we're trying to replace. And another objective is, we'll have to, instead of throwing this bottles into trash just like that, make
Mhm.
sure it is being recycled. That again, recycling plastic is again another whole world, because
Yeah.
it's not easy to recycle plastics. It has a lot of steps, and it's some, I told you, the recycling code also, most of the plastics, it's difficult to recycle them
True.
into
True.
something else.
So
So
we'll have to
it's
avoid
like,
single-use plastics altogether for
yeah,
15 days. And can you
try avoid. I mean, avoid
give us a little
eating small
alternate?
small toffees and chocolates, because they
Ah,
have so many wrappers.
oh my God! So no
So we'll
chocolates.
have to. No, you have to. I think you'll have to replace it with a bigger chocolate or something. Again, everything you can't completely avoid it, because whatever you do, there will be plastic coming along with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So if
probably
you're
this
ordering
challenge.
online,
Yeah, this.
if you
Yeah, you were saying.
yeah, I mean, if you get something online, make sure when you order through your what apps, Zomato or Swiggy or something, make sure whatever restaurant you're ordering from, they will give and pack your food, not, I mean, in some
Plastic
box,
button.
or not other than plastic, anything other than plastic. So I
Mhm.
think there are some restaurants, even Ideal ice cream, they give it to
Yeah.
in a cardboard box, so it's
Yes.
like paper
Yes.
box. And
Yeah.
even the cutlery what they use, they are made up of wood again. That's
Yeah.
also not environment friendly, but okay,
Yeah. No, but
after a few days we'll have to.
we'll try out this challenge and see how
Yeah,
practical it is for a common man to avoid single-use plastic. So that would give us a better understanding of how to avoid the single-use plastic. Because now we are running out of creative ideas to replace single-use plastic. I mean, I'm telling it to the viewers
yeah,
also. We are actually running out of ideas to avoid single-use plastic from my life, from our lives. So if you have a solution for this, what have you replaced plastic with? What have you replaced plastic bags with, sachets with? What have you replaced straws with? So if you can come up with solutions, please do tag us on Ankuram resolution and Ankuram at or hashtag Ankuram 360 or hashtag reuse and refuse Ankuram. So these hashtags we will be uploading them. You can hashtag us there, and we'll take this challenge and try how practical it is. And let's urge everybody around us to do the same thing. Let this be a challenge for not just for 15 days. Let's practically see how hard it is to live 15 days without plastic in our life, and then from there let's take a bigger step by step together. So I think
yeah,
our main aim was to introduce the challenge today, to everyone. And thank you, Apoorva, for telling so much information about plastic and how we can find alternatives for single-use solutions, single-use problems. So it has single-use solutions again. So we'll have to creatively come up with this. So I hope everybody will take up this challenge for 15 days. It's open to anyone. You just have to go to your Instagram. Hashtag is there. On our page,
Hashtag Ankuram resolution. So please use that hashtag Ankuram resolution.
Ankuram resolution and Ankuram 360 also you can hashtag, and please send it across. Share your alternatives, what you have come across in your daily life and what you changes you have made. Please make this a thing so that we start urging everybody around us to take the same steps. So thank you everyone for listening to us today. Thank you Apoorva for giving us all the information and urging all of us to take this
Thanks for
challenge.
having me.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for like, actually pushing us to take this challenge. It was hard, to be honest. Even for 15 days, when I think of single-use plastic, I know it's going to be a hard time. But
Yeah.
thank you for inspiring all of us, and for that matter, for the whole Ankuram team. They're going to take up this challenge. We are also going to take up this challenge, and we're going to see how successful it is. So, see you on hashtags. Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you, and happy New Year to one and all. Yes. Bye.
Happy New Year. Bye.